5 archaeological finds in 2024. Every year, archaeologists discover more and more amazing artifacts and historical sites whose existence we could only guess about, and 2024 is no exception. What archaeologists managed to find in the first half of the year? We tell in this material. Plato's tomb and artificial intelligence. In April 2024, Plato's tomb was discovered. Archaeologists from the University of Pisa used artificial intelligence to decipher an ancient text preserved on charred papyrus found in the ancient Roman city of Herculaneum near Pompeii. The philosopher Plato, a student of Socrates, was buried on the grounds of the academy he founded in the 4th century BC. The Platonic Academy, the world's first institution of higher learning, was destroyed by a Roman dictator in 86 BC, so scholars were not sure where Plato was buried on the academy grounds. According to a text written by Philodemus of Gadara, an Epicurean philosopher who lived in the 1st century BC, Plato was buried in the garden of the Academy of Athens. Perhaps one day, archaeologists will be able to discover the tomb of the great philosopher himself. Labyrinth of the Minotaur at the airport. During the construction of an airport on the island of Crete in June 2024, a structure that is at least 4,000 years old was discovered, and which may be the legendary Labyrinth of the Minotaur, created by King Minos. The structure, 48 meters in diameter, was found on a hilltop 50 kilometers southeast of the capital of Crete, Heraklion. According to archaeologists, the labyrinth, represented by a central circular building and a space formed by outer walls, was built in 2000 BCE. During the excavations, numerous animal bones were also discovered, leading archaeologists to suggest that the structure was not a residential complex, but rather was used for rituals and ceremonies. Research into the unique site continues, and who knows, maybe very soon, scientists will find out that the mythical Minotaur actually existed. Did the ancient Egyptians slouch? It turns out that modern office workers are not the only ones who suffer from posture problems. In ancient Egypt, representatives of one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious profession, had similar problems. During the Old Kingdom, that is, more than 4.5 thousand years ago, Egyptian scribes slouched no less than modern computer users. This became known during a study that was conducted over several years and was completed in the summer of 2024. A total of 30 scribes from the necropolis in Abusir were analyzed. It turns out that because of the nature of their work, sitting on the floor with their heads down and no support for their arms, ancient Egyptian scribes suffered from osteoarthritis, a degenerative joint disease. The cervical spine, shoulders, jaw joints, and hips of literate ancient Egyptians were most stressed. The scribes' jaws were strained by chewing on their tool, a split reed. Whenever the brush at the end wore out, the scribes would cut it off and chew on the next part of the reed to split it. Argentines ate giant armadillos. In May 2024, it turned out that prehistoric people knew how to cut up a giant carcass. Having studied the fossils of a glyptodont, an ancient and huge ancestor of modern armadillos, scientists came to the conclusion that, firstly, the first people in South America appeared 6,000 years earlier than previously assumed, and secondly, they ate mammals that weighed up to 2 tons and were up to 3 meters long. The animals were presumably butchered with stone tools. This discovery turns the scientific world's perception of ancient migration upside down. It was previously believed that people came to North and South America via a land bridge that connected Siberia and Alaska. How the Americas actually became inhabited is now a mystery. The tunnel leading to Cleopatra. In early 2024, Dr. Kathleen Martinez, who has been searching for Cleopatra's tomb for 20 years, reported on what she had achieved during excavations at Taposiris Magna, an ancient city and religious center 45 kilometers from Alexandria, Egypt, founded by Ptolemy Philippus, an Egyptian king in the 3rd century BC. Dr. Martinez is certain that Cleopatra's tomb is located in the temple of Teposiris Magna, dedicated to the god Osiris and the goddess Isis. 2 years earlier, she found a 1,300-meter-long tunnel leading into the Mediterranean Sea, and earlier this year, a tablet that was placed under the stones at the temple's foundation. The inscription on the tablet states that the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Ptolemy V, and his wife, Arsinoe II, dedicated the temple to Mother Isis. Based on this discovery, Dr. Martinez suggested that perhaps there is a second temple, since in ancient Egypt, they usually built 2 temples, one for men and one for women, to which a tunnel leading into the water leads. And most likely, the search for Cleopatra's tomb should be in the Mediterranean Sea, which Dr. Martinez is already actively doing with the permission of the Egyptian authorities.